The project, which consists of over 2,000 beds, was built at the Alice campus. Higher Education Minister Dr Blade Nzimande will deliver the keynote address during the launch. Nzimande is also expected to speak on issues affecting allowances for students. Our reporter Abongile Jantjies spoke to the Vice-Chancellor of the University, Sakhela Buhlungu.
We're coming to you from Alice at the University of Fort Hare, where an unveiling of a student accommodation is set to be unveiled today by the Vice-Chancellor of this university, together with Higher Education Minister Dr Blade Nzimande. With me, I do have the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Sakhela Buhlungu. A very good day to you, sir. Kindly take us through what impact will this newly built accommodation improve the lives of the students in this area?
Thank you very much, and good day. The impact is huge. The impact of this project is that it's going to relieve the pressure, the accommodation pressure faced by the university and its students. As you know, Alice is a very small town, and there's very little to go by in terms of rental accommodation. So this is going to be a major boost in that regard. That's the first point. The second point about the impact is that it's not just spaces, it's not just beds, it's good accommodation, it's quality accommodation that complies with all the requirements set by the National Department of Higher Education. So including, for example, dedicated rooms for students living with disabilities and so many other things. It's also got a new state-of-the-art student center that adds to our existing student center. So the impact is huge. It's dignity, it's clear, it's fresh, that creates a conducive environment for teaching and learning for our students.
We're speaking about a project well worth over 400 million rand, and over 2,000 beds were made available. That surely speaks directly to the safety of the students, and that this means they'll be on time on campus. This means that you've lifted the burden of them living outside campus.
Absolutely, that's a very important point. They all live on campus, which makes it easier for us to take care of the security and the safety of all the students, but also just good living environment where there's water, there's all of the other facilities. But also let me make the point that with the addition of this more than 2,000 beds, we're basically going to be accommodating more than 60% of our students, which is unprecedented in the country for a campus to accommodate that much of students. So we're very pleased and we're very proud of that. And just to say, the phase 2 of this project was done within 2 years. Construction of the 12 blocks, new blocks, and the student center commenced in December 2018. And this is a project that's gone through all the turbulence, the COVID, the student protests and all of that. And here we are. And in fact, the delays, we should have launched all of this in October 2020, but for COVID and of course some protests. Yes, so we're very proud indeed.
Speaking about protest, last week or 2 weeks back, I was here covering a story on NSFAS allowances not being paid. What's the latest with regards to that?
Once again, the issue about NSFAS allowances is something I need to. It's a sort of thing that I would like to explain. Because what it is it's very simple. NSFAS allowances are of two kinds. There's a book allowance, okay, which is 5,200 rand. It's once off. That was delayed somewhat because we were still deciding the students who got laptops and therefore wanted to debit that, and students who didn't get laptops. In the end, that was resolved. It was not a problem. It was just we were doing our books and making sure that we do due diligence. The second kind of allowance is meal allowances for every NSFAS funded student. And then there are other categories, of course, of students funded elsewhere who also receive allowances. Those are monthly. They're paid monthly. By the first of the month, they must be in the student's account. So we do that. Today I signed for the allowances for tomorrow, for June, for the month of June. And that's not the issue. The issue, you probably, when you were here 2 weeks ago, it was probably a delay of a day or two in terms of the payments. That's all. But the issue at Fort Hare, all students receive their allowances all the time.
Okay. On a different topic, Professor Ijeoma, He's been granted bail by the Zwelitsha Magistrate Court. He's accused of stealing a state vehicle from this university. What's your take on him?
No, it's very simple. Ijeoma does not work for the University of Fort Hare, and please, people should stop referring to Ijeoma as the Fort Hare professor. He's not a Fort Hare professor. He's gone. He is gone. He was here illegally. We did not know, and when we came to our attention, then we took that up. Ijeoma was also facing serious charges of misconduct. The thing about the car, that's a small issue. Yes, he took the car, he stole the car because he had left, he doesn't work for the university. He stole the car, no question about it. That's what he's in Zwelitsha court for. But Ijeoma stole university money. But Ijeoma also admitted many people irregularly. So, point though, is that the chapter on Ijeoma is closed as far as we're concerned. There was a disciplinary hearing that took a decision and that fired him, that dismissed him. He is dismissed. Whatever remains of Ijeoma now is a matter for the courts of the country and for Home Affairs.
I thank you so much, sir. Sorry to bombard you with that question. That was the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Fort Hare, Professor Sakhela Buhlungu, telling us about how much of an impact this student accommodation will have, and also touched on the professor who once worked within this university, who was also the lecturer or supervisor of the premier of the province, Oscar Mabuyane, but he's now, as he says, he's been fired. He no longer works for the university. From us here, it's back to you in studio.